Hello, anybody, and thanks for tuning in to Monday Morning Handicapping. Today I'm going to be coming out with a budget-friendly early pick four at Fresno. Took a little bit of time off to welcome a new addition to the family, but enough about me. I'm glad to get back into the swing of things here, and we're going to be taking a look at the Fresno card from Saturday, September 28th, 2024. It's the early pick four starting on race one, a 50-cent minimum. And I'm just going to go through the card and give out a cheap pick four, which I think should fit nearly anybody's budget and my rationale. So let's just dive right on in. In race number one, it's a 5.5 furlong event for maiden claiming tag of 8,000. This in general is a really weak field of maidens. Again, these are horses that have never won a race. They haven't run many races because they're 2-year-olds and they're just beginning their careers. And if we look through, there's just not a lot of speed on the page. No horses are getting out of the gate very swiftly. Number two definitely has the experience edge, has shown a little bit of speed. The fractions aren't great. It's taking quite a class drop after being in maiden special weight for a while. Going 5.5 furlongs, I want to look for someone that can get out of the gate, and the number two just has the experience and has shown a little bit of forward ability. So I'm going to use the two on my ticket. Reluctantly, he is the morning line favorite, but again, very weak field. Another horse that I like that I'll use is the three, Thirsty Nick. Gets a bump up in jockey, one of the better jockeys in the colony. I watched the replay of his last race, and you can see over here in the comments, a bit slow out of the gate and just went really wide throughout. And when they entered the stretch and the jockey asked him to pick it up a little bit, it seemed like he responded. This run line doesn't show that he made up ground, but the horse seemed like he wanted to stay in the race, even though he got off to a slow start. Did not give up, just ran straight down the stretch, and I think can improve second off with that experience. Has a couple work since his last race, so maybe getting a little fitter if they can get out of the gate a little bit. I think this horse should be able to stay on in what looks like a race with no pace. I'm kind of on the fence about adding a third horse. Probably should, just because it seems like a wide open race, and the four would be my pick there. Solid trainer, a class dropper, has a race under its belt and ran pretty evenly throughout. A little rank at first, so with the experience, maybe can get a little more into the race and stay a little bit more focused. So for race number one, two, and three, and maybe the four if it fits your budget, and we'll talk about the cost of adding that third horse in this race later on. So now let's go ahead and take a look at race number two. So as you can see over on the left side of the screen, I have my selections there. The comma indicates I will be using both those horses, and the /4 is kind of optional. If you want to use it, feel free. But again, we'll talk about how much more that horse will cost if you choose to add it later. But race number two, at first I wasn't going to single, but after looking at the race and some other information, I think I will be singling. Going 6 furlongs, claiming tag of $8,000. I'm going to single this one, 5-1 on the morning line. I would be surprised if this horse did not go off favored, first or second choice. This horse is definitely the speed of the speed. I only see two real speed runners. The one and the three both want the front end. The three is stepping up in class considerably. The one is about even. Last time it ran at this level, or at least for this tag, non-winners at two in a while. It won very easily, going very swiftly on the dirt. The race before that, 12,500 tag for non-winners of two in a year. Ran, again, pretty nice fractions, finished well, and just ran second. Beat a next out winner in Zippy Baby. The last race it won, there was also a next out winner in Mr. Clutch. It's coming off about a year layoff. So I looked at the work tab, and it's got a nice 4 furlong work, and before that a nice 5 furlong work. And if you go back and look at my grain of salt video where I compare this trainer with Isidro Tamayo, another one of the top trainers at the meet, you'll notice, let me pull this up here, Jamie Thomas, this trainer, before a sprint win, most often would run a 4 furlong workout most recently with a 5 preceding it. 9 times out of the 26 times sample size he won sprint race, and those fractions when he ran a 4 furlong workout was about 50.5 seconds, and the 5 furlong workout was a minute 2, almost a minute and 3. And if we go back and take a look, 48 seconds, which is much faster than he typically works them, and a minute and 1 flat, much faster than he typically works them. So I think this horse is working faster than he would normally like, which just tells me that this horse, only 4 years old, well bred, should be fit for this race. It definitely looks like it has a speed and class advantage over the other speedster. So I think this, and Castellanos, I did a little video on him, and he Does really well with front running horses. A lot of positives on this horse. It's got speed, got class, working well, good jockey that I like, inside post, should be able to pick the path he wants, and I really don't see this horse stopping. Looks fit, 6 furlongs, a little bit of a question, hasn't won at this distance, but has run in some pretty high caliber races in its career, and I think this horse being protected from the claim this race, it's his race to lose. So that I'm going to take a shot with the 5-1 single in race number 2, the one horse Wound Up. So I hope that all makes sense to you, and we're going to move down to race number 3. Race number 3 is the 6 furlong event for maidens, $16,000 claiming tag, and my pick is going to be number 2. I'm going to take the 2, 3, and the 6 in my pick 4. The 2 has been close and is dropping in tag or class level. It's been second 3 times in a row as the favorite 2 out of those 3 times, but has been wide, a little bit slow a couple of times. I like the last race was a mile, and the horse held on and didn't really lose ground. I'm going to consider that race kind of a workout, a paid workout, because it did run second, so it won some purse money, but a little bit of an endurance builder, so I don't think 6 furlongs should be an issue if this horse can just get out of the gate, and I don't see a lot of speed in this race either, so I think the 1 will go to the lead, but is going a bit further and doesn't really finish super strong in its last 2 races. So I think the 2 can sit right off of the 1 and just follow that horse around and should have enough left in the tank entering the stretch and down the stretch to at least pass the 1. The 3 is another one I'm going to take. I ran a nice 47 buyer on debut. The horse was favored in that race, just behind a horse named Tom's Treasure down here in the pink, who a couple of these other runners have ran against, and this horse fared best against that horse. It also has a closing kick. As you can see, it was 5 lengths back halfway through the race, rallied up to finish third by 2 3/4 lengths, again behind this Tom's Treasure horse who's soundly beaten others in this race. So I think a couple months off, some nice works, a couple of 5 furlong workouts, 5 furlong at 1 minute and 1. This horse should have learned a bit or two after its last race. Does have a closing style, may even be closer to the pace of this time around, but definitely will be there late and is going an extra half furlong or a 16th of a mile further, and I think that bodes well for this horse. The other one I'm going to use is the 6, Parthena, 7-2. Again, ran against that Tom's Treasure horse. This horse was beaten by 4 lengths from Tom's Treasure, so a bit further back than the 3, but the 3 was 8-1 or it's going to be 8-1 on the morning line on Saturday, and ran better against Tom's Treasure, and this horse is 7-2, so I'm going to kind of use the 6 just as a saver. Not quite sure what to make of his run line. I'm not sure I trust this 60 buyer, but looks like it's got a little bit of speed and just wasn't good enough to beat Tom's Treasure. Didn't do as well against that horse as the 3, but this horse looks like it might be coming alive, might have some ability, might be able to maybe contest the pace and be out front early, so I'm going to use that one as well on my ticket just because singling a 5-1 in the second leg, I'd like to hit that and be alive, and I think the 6 is the other one that could give me trouble here. So I will include the 6. And now let's move to the final race, the 4th race. In this 4th race, it's a distance of 1 mile and allowance 50,000. And my top pick is going to be the morning line favorite, the Chalk, Pass the Baton, number 4, 2-1. Since its layoff, it's ran 3 times at Del Mar. When it ran on the dirt down there, it made the lead going wickedly fast against Del Mar Company, which is much tougher than what he's going to be facing at Fresno. It was a claiming tag of 25,000 on winners of 2 lifetime, but showed a lot of speed. Didn't fade too poorly, actually, considering how fast they went early and how far they went. A full mile, was wide, weakened, lost the crop, so horse probably wasn't going to hold on to win down there anyway, especially, again, setting those fractions. The other 2 races were on the turf, one sprinting 5 furlongs off the layoff, which is probably just a welcome back to the races kind of race. Then it ran on the dirt where it went way too fast, then ran a mile and a 16th on the turf. Kind of ran evenly, steadied early, was inside early, probably got shuffled back. I didn't watch the replay there, but steadied and kind of ran on late. So this horse, only 4 years old, has room to keep running these mid-level or mid-70 buyers. Again, ran evenly last time out at Del Mar. Ships back up north. Has a 6 furlong workout up north since that last race at Del Mar. And I just think this horse has tactical speed. It can be right off of the pace. It can take the lead if it must. It actually broke its maiden wire to wire. I think this horse just has a class edge, really. It gets a top jockey, trainer, a very solid trainer. So yeah, I just think a class relief, and this horse is just seems like it's got talent, and the speed figures are consistent enough. I don't think it's fluky. It's getting softer company up here, and I just look for it to set right off of any lead, or just take the lead, inherit it, and not look back. There's a couple of ways this horse can win, and I won't be surprised if he does. So those are my top picks for the pick four. If you look at the left hand side of the screen, if you just do two horses in that first race, so it would be two by one horse in the second, three horses in the third, and one horse in the fourth, it'd be a $3 ticket total. If you wanted to tack on that third horse in the first race, the 2, 3, 4, with the one in the second race, with 2, 3, 6 in the third, with the four in the fourth race, that would be a total of $4.50 ticket. The good thing about race one is you can see the tote board. You can see what horses are being bet. And if the four is super cold, if no one's betting that horse and you don't want to spend $4.50, you can save $1.50, just do the $3 bet. But if the four is taking a little bit of money, his odds are going down, then I would probably include, again, it's a weak race. I don't have a lot of confidence in any of those horses that race, so I would probably opt for the $4.50 pick four. I like the 5-1 single in second, so I'd like to be covered in the others. Hopefully we can get to the last race and be alive, and hope what I perceive the most talented horse in the race winning. And I couldn't really give a expected payoff, but I'd say at least $50 if I had to guess. Maybe more depending on what odd horses win the first and the third race, assuming the one wins the second race. But that's going to be my pick four for Saturday at Fresno, September 28th. Thanks for watching. Good luck, and see you all next time.